I've been trying to put together a podcast, and I've been slowly working on designing and gathering equipment for this endeavor. So today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a new piece of gear I got. We're going to be taking a look at the new Rødecaster Duo. Now, this isn't a new product, but it is new to me, so I figured I would take the time, make this video, unbox it, and kind of set it up and give you guys some audio samples. So not only did I pick up this for using here in the studio, but this can be used as a general audio production software piece of equipment. So if you're a musician or you do storytelling or voiceover work or anything in a creative environment, you could probably use this in that regards. So if you've never seen the Rødecaster Duo, this is what it looks like. It's basically an interface with XLR inputs and headphones. There are more advanced versions that are more expensive, like the Rødecaster Pro 2. There are older versions as well, and you can still find those in the used market. They no longer make them, but you can still find them used for a relatively competitive price. It has Revolution preamps and Aphex processing, so it has a processing board built into this, so you're not having to do a ton of audio post-production work. After you've done your recording, you can apply all these presets and effects into your recording on board with this system. I also picked up a couple of XLR cables by Røde. So these are the XLR 3s. These are 10-foot cables. These are going to be podcast cables for myself and my guest. And here is the device itself. So you get 4 sliders, 6 multi-effects keypads, a digital screen, 2 knobs that will control your mic line inputs for headphones for each you and your guest, and then a master knob to control all your settings and cycle through your menus. On the back, you have your power button here. You got a couple of headphone inputs, USB-C inputs, and your XLR inputs. And then you have a little slot for putting a SD card in, so you can do onboard recording if you're not connected to a computer. Next in the box, which is the bottom half, you get what I'm assuming is your power brick. So you get your wall cord and this is the power brick here with the USB-C cable. So there's your power cord, and then you get a long USB-C to USB-C cable. Very nice cable. This is pretty much identical to the cable that came with the Røde PodMic Usb, so got 2 of them now. Again, I didn't need XLR cables for this, but I figured since I was getting this gear, I would get everything all at once, brand new. There were no issues and I wouldn't have to replace stuff down the road. No pun intended, road. It comes with a nice little tie, XLR, male and female. So that's basically all we're going to use to set this thing up. So I'm going to go ahead and plug stuff up. I'm going to connect this to the MacBook, and then I'm going to plug in the Røde PodMic USB and the Shure SM7B and kind of give you an audio comparison between the 2 microphones. So hang out, we'll be right back. So we have our Rødecaster Duo plugged up. So now we're going to power it on for the first time. Alright, so we got it mostly set up. I'm still trying to mess with configurations, but we're going through and we're testing all the functions and features of each of these deals. So by tapping on each one of these little channels, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can access the menu system by just simply pressing one of the buttons on the top of this display under the screen, which will bring up your processing and effects. I'm not going to mess with any of that right now. We have everything connected. It sounds good. Real quick, I'm just going to give you a recording, but we're going to go through the effects pads real quick because I think that'll be fun and I want y'all to hear what is available. So I'm going to switch cameras. We're going to deal with that now. Alright, so now we have both cameras rolling. You can see from right here, this is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 from behind the setup here, and then we have the main camera rolling over here. So real quick, I'm just going to run you guys through the effects pads, and we're just going to start a recording so you guys can see kind of what this stuff does. So we'll exit out of that, and I'm just going to go through the pads one by one, and then we'll do a vocal comparison between the Røde PodMic Usb and the Shure SM7B. One key thing to note when you set all this up, you're not going to be able to record into this device without a micro SD card inserted in the back of the unit. So I kind of had some issue struggling with that, trying to figure out why it wouldn't record. You're going to need a micro SD card for the back of this unit to record on board. Make sure you get something that will fit in that. I'll leave some links down to micro SD cards in the description, so if you choose to pick this up, you can have a list of options for that as well. We got everything set up on the unit itself. Camera B right here, you're hearing the audio coming from the DJI Mic 2 clipped to the yoke of the microphone over here, and then this is coming from right here. Alrighty, so now the audio you're hearing is coming from the Røde PodMic USB through the Rødecaster Duo. From what my ears are hearing, everything sounds good, but I won't know what the audio sounds like until I go and upload this and play this audio back. So as of right now, this is the audio you can expect from the Rødecaster Duo. Basically, you're going to use whatever mic you have plugged into this, allowing you to record through this unit. We're going to go through the effects pads so you can hear what these sound like. Here is the first pad. And we got live audio. So we got some nice background music, which is cool. So if you're doing a podcast, you can have some cool intro music for your show. If that's something you're into, you can also download and change all of this stuff. So I think that's a pretty neat feature to be able to incorporate something into this type of unit. And then when you're done, you can just slowly fade it out and stop it. So that's button number 1. So that says music bed. Next, we're going to do the trombone. So here we go, trombone. Typical. If you've watched any videos on these units, all these presets are pretty stock, and you can go through and you can change these things. There's videos on YouTube that show you how to go through and change MIDI keys and put in different effects. So next we have applause. Pretty exciting. Next we got air horn. That just plays as many times as you tap it. We got crickets. So, you know, if you're talking to a guest and something's awkward, you can just be like, whatever. Next we got record scratch, which I don't know how many of y'all would find that useful, but you know, I'm sure there's something out there for that application. Now, using the bottom 2 keys over here, we're going to pan over to the next menu, and this is kind of where it starts to get fun because we start getting into effects, changes, and other sound samples. So we got chimes, and then we have rim shot. And if you have a guest who is kind of foul-mouthed or whatever, you can always just censor them so you don't know what they're going to say next. But if you do, you can pretty much time it out. And you can censor anything they have to say that might be potentially offensive. Like if you're going to say the word or there's ways to use it. You'll have to get used to it. But next comes the fun part. Voice effects. So we're going to dial into that. So next we have megaphone. So with this active, this is super loud in my ears, so I want to turn that down just a smidge. And then you can disable that. That's pretty cool. We get large robot.
So now this is what your voice sounds like. You can play with these effects and do some cool stuff with them.
Voice disguise, so if you have a guest on, you're not showing them. Maybe they want to stay anonymous, you can use this.
That way their voice stays anonymous and you don't know who they are. Or you could just use this as a scary effect.
There's tons of cool options for these things. Next, we got pitch up, ducking, monster, and small robot. Personally, I think these things are going to be fun to use in a podcast setting.
Because if you have a guest on your show and they just want to be funny, this is a great option for adding character to their voice. I sound like a squirrel.
Next, we have monster.
This one should be fun. It's kind of crazy because you don't have to manipulate your voice, it just does it all for you. I think that's a pretty cool feature.
And last but not least, we have small robot.
That's what this one sounds like. My name is C3DO. Take me to your leader. Yeah, that's all I got. I've run out of input.
So, yeah, there's tons of stuff in here, and you have, I think, 1, 2, 3, and you got 4 menu systems to play with settings and control different variations of these things. So you can control and manipulate different things. I'm assuming depending on whatever channel you're active on, you can add effects and change things that way. Basically just by clicking on the person's channel or whoever's running the board at the time of the podcast or whatever you're doing, you can manipulate it that way. So right now it's only letting me do it to one channel because I only have one mic plugged in. Yeah, this is the audio coming from the Rødecaster Duo through the Røde PodMic Usb. So we're going to switch over to the Shure SM7B now, and I'm going to give you guys an audio sample through the Rødecaster Duo that way. Alright, so now we have the Shure SM7B set up on a mic stand. You can see that here next to the Røde PodMic Usb, Shure SM7B. We're going to run this and we're going to configure this in the Rødecaster Duo. So we're going to scroll through and find the Shure SM7B. We're going to select that. So right now it says 55 dB, which probably sounds good. So I'm not hearing it, but I'm seeing it on the meter. So real quick, I'm going to monitor the audio just to see what it sounds like. And this is the Shure SM7B. Now that we have this kind of set up, we're going to just walk through the same process and do kind of a repeat. So what I should have done before I did all that, craziness with the PodMic USB is done the script reading I was going to do to compare the two audio sources. I think we're going to just start with the SM7B. We'll switch back to the Røde PodMic USB and we'll go from there. So we're going to be doing this recording on the Shure SM7B into the Rødecaster Duo. And we're going to go ahead and pull up a script. I have a little script here on my phone that I saved just for the purpose of this video. And it's basically just a voiceover sample I'm going to read from my phone, and you guys will hear the two audio sources. So now the audio you're hearing is coming from the Shure SM7B into the Rødecaster Duo. I've already changed the microphones. So this is the Røde PodMic Usb, and this is the Shure SM7B. I haven't changed any of the settings, so the audio should be relatively the same. We're trying to figure this out as we go, and we're making it fun. So we got some nice jam music. We got some grooves. So I got a script here. We're going to compare the audio of the two microphones here now, and I'm just going to let you guys hear what both mics sound like running through the Rødecaster Duo. Again, I haven't changed any of the effects or the presets on this channel. Everything, all the processing, I believe, is off, maybe on. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't changed any of the settings. I've only changed the microphones. So here we go. We're going to start with the voiceover sample into the Shure SM7B. In a world buzzing with noise, your voice is what makes the difference. Whether it's storytelling, music, or conversation, the way sound shapes how we are heard. Clarity, tone, and emotion all play a role in delivering a message that sticks. So sit back, listen closely, and let's explore the power of sound together. Because sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. So that is the recording through the Shure SM7B into the Rødecaster Duo. We're going to go ahead and switch the audio now to the Røde PodMic, and we're going to read the same sample, and then we're going to close out this video. We are back on the Røde PodMic USB, and nothing's changed. I just swapped the mics. Shure SM7B is over here still. And we're going to read the same passage through the Røde PodMic USB. In a world buzzing with noise, your voice is what makes the difference. Whether it's storytelling, music, or conversation, the way sound shapes how we are heard. Clarity, tone, and emotion all play a role in delivering a message that sticks. So sit back, listen closely, and let's explore the power of sound together. Because sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. So that's the audio from the Røde PodMic USB. So now you've heard both microphones, the PodMic and the Shure SM7B. We're going to go back up top and we're going to close out this video, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a just brief overall summary of my thoughts. So we'll see you over there. Alrighty guys, so that was the unboxing and demo of the Rødecaster Duo. Down in the comments, let me know what you guys thought about the audio comparison between the Røde PodMic USB and the Shure SM7B. The Shure SM7Bs are going to be what I'm using in the podcast setting. Down below, I'm going to put links to where you can pick these up. Any three of these items if you choose to do so, if you're in the market looking for information on these. Hopefully some part of this video helped you in making a decision whether or not you're going to purchase one of these items. I'm pretty excited. I think the Rødecaster Duo has a lot of potential, and I've seen hundreds of videos of people unboxing these and reviewing them, saying they like recording on the Rødecaster Duo over their Procaster 2s. So the Procaster 2, you have more channel inputs. You get 4 XLR inputs versus the 2 on the Duo, but you also have digital inputs that you can integrate USB mics and other options. All that information is still new to me and I'm still learning about it, but again, links for all these items will be down in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. Overall, I'm pretty excited to be recording and own this piece of gear. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, I highly encourage you to go down below, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell for post notifications. You'll be notified anytime I upload content like this or any future video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring and I was somewhat entertaining. With that being said, I want to thank y'all for watching again. We'll see you next time.